And I do it home. Now, folks, Afiyemra's our developing story. Our developing story of the week, and one of suggests that Ghana is going into some form of food crisis. And sooner rather later, if the situation is not kept, Ghana will be on a suicide mission. So one year, would you tell now the men pay the say, and pay prayer yet two way. A diane eba be shorty or Ghana has say. Na shortage na eba no e your how kese o ye ne kese e na de ba o men na se waso yante de bia no mo de ne politics hey aduane shortage eba nyabotre na wo bebi say hey how shortage of aduane ye di e be shorty o Ghana how planting for food ne ekosi sen one district, one dam. A Korea saying, about saying, and all of this, bringing shortage of food into the country. One, and so I see ye niana. Ensure any yeni. And I assume which of the above? Wait a minute. But again, question remain. Baby sir, how did we get here? One of the fundamental tools to cultivate foodstuffs in Ghana are bodies and forest reserves that should protect us. All right? Adia betimi amenuane aba omaimu no man nipa nyebiedie eyede ensuo water bodies ededa ye mensimu all over the place ensuo a eteneko a ye benya bi any enua ye forest ne kwaye no a blow in frama so that photosynthesis it take place me nnuane na etinye nyini kama bayiro bodio bancho de ni na aye kama. So how did we get here? Today, both essential tools have all been destroyed, i.e. galamsey and amebwa. I.e. galamsey coupled with what? Irresponsible stupidity and foolishness of leadership supervisory role by some government officials or elements who themselves are part of this menace and nobody cares about it. So what did I make? Yes. And so no ebe boa me yetinye duane no ebe timi aboa ma photosynthesis take place ema banjo bodio edebe all the foodstuffs that ye duani na enya nsuo ne nya mframa e de enyino ya se ni na edwentifo wontumi ka ho a useless man what the whole ka kire obi se ono de ai obekwaso anu wadwiri Ghana kwaye no wase no dwentini wonim nyansa. They don't care. Boom. And ne report nature say all the food growing areas need now droughts it take place. Droughts it just saying ensure na den are the we are no all the river bodies and water bodies now have been contaminated. Number 3, your forest reserves have been cut off. Abodan for mekoka musi mediatem na we say menya Ghana ni and you and I yenye stakeholders of what is going on in this country mekoka musi mediatem. What do you think I should do? Are you telling me therefore say Ghana perifoni nim say ade won mo ye wo kwaye mu no oh edo how any oyene ebebro me we say omunim wo masonte wo mani hu ye how aden Anana mu jimweni naked wire at the homosi no yemfa yensem kosom and naked wire carrying about 240 volts what's the mean from yensem kosom na minwu abodan for useless criminals and rocks abodan for stupid and foolish people nyanse ni mutrim and na komo bedi yen. In the month of September, if nothing is done, Ghana is going on this path and you sit there you are telling me rubbish. Abodan for we need to speak to you like as your scripture says in Proverbs 26. What is going on here? The bay and I would say, yeah, sorry that crupel. A come for what? How? Yet Brandon Champo agent simpie so or to as someone can say political party, they wouldn't say ways and means and would be winning elections. And to 24 munim nyansa your conscience is seared. The munim say ye info sikamra ye ko fa loan aba loans na de ba no the munim ni say be boom mudi mu nsa be bo loans no mu agege mu de wom ne sika no mu dinasa eno ano mu ni nyansa ye de dwene ye de boa esiesi o man pagya aduane keka ye bedie ene e de yedura aduane o edu na be aduane na ba na ya se no kwaye no be boa ma aduane na nyi no ye twa egu e de ne ye hwehwe yes sini ni gold muntumi ka ho abodamfo gold wo hwehwe wo se kombede wo na wo wia ben wo be di gold no wo wenum. Folks, many are very rough and anajui. Today, Ghana need an amount of saying 500 million United States dollars yet to import another food grains into the country. Nevertheless, an amount of such as close to this amount here, Ghana has been pushed to a high-ranking government official, the wife, to use it for all African games to cook for people. And Amonte. Yeah, here saying 500 million United States dollars. Yeah, they kokra say nuane I say a kokra nuane aba. To make us say the Minister of Defense will deploy top saying military officers in close to Ghana borders nina. Said they are amount for into me at the end smuggling nuane kwa abonte. I yare for senseless people. You are too senseless beyond babies. Mo yare beyond babies who are on the breastfeeding. Yeah, mo ni nyansa. I don't care how that is going to cost me or you. I don't care. I'm sorry I have to do it this way. I'm sorry, folks. Tonight, I have to do. When it comes to food, ensure water is life. So, if your leaders are unable to protect you and I on the path of water, which is life, and can go and destroy the water, it is as equal in your life. Case closed. Asempa, yentu sebi. Ask me and ask yourself, how did we get here? And then you're here saying 500 million United States dollars. Now 500 million United States dollars. To transform food. Meanwhile, a government, high-ranking government official, $13 million. Yes, on fan koto miani o se on fan kwede Emma All African Games. Wajis can wedi. Again today, Ghana has entered the ECOWAS buffer stock, which is fundamentally meant for a specific operation across the sub-region. The fact that Ghana contribute to it does not warrant Ghana to irresponsibly violates the protocol. Ghana entered the ECOWAS buffer. Ghana, ECOWAS, the whole of Africa, West African. She says, African regional, West African regional, or maybe our buffer stocker. Ye contribute to them. Into the buffer stock for ECOWAS, no, ye diani and ye diegua umfa wansanka. Atrienchen bi ba na ekoba se eno SSC release fanese bi oye ne biaba Togo fo abaha Burkina fo abaha na asefo then we release a aduane no na ye dia den ye dia supply them enye Ghana fo na esi ye di se aduane no it is for ECOWAS buffer stock. Guess what is happening? This government be kan chem se be boa ene ekomo dia ma chese afi ya enter the ECOWAS buffer stock and ye didi wom. And ye didi sesi and you are not feeling it oh there be gan obian feel you nyabotre you feel it more than this. Afi we say we call a gas one a bro bag we say they are better no. This is the leadership who are ruling you. Common sense keke umu ni bida ediane oh come on ediane mu ni bi. Now, let's, get some perspectives over how a military officer, near friend is saying, General Ignatius Kutu Echampong, a Konya Kutu Echampong, Efaswa, Oma, Ghana, in 1973-75, Adriani Busu Keke, Afini transported Adriani they call outside, ever in our history. Now, between NDC and MPP, 32 years, we import rice, we import poultry, we import vegetables. Just on drink one assemble. With him, my how could you manage with this magic formula? I'll say, Major General D.K. Addo, the Commissioner for Agriculture, was the one to initiate the implementation of FY. OFY near the Operation Feed Yourself. Listen. Now I'll say, but he resigned a year later, and a younger and a more dynamic officer, Colonel Frank Benasco, took over the ministry for the next 3 years. That is up to February 1975. Subsequently, Colonel P.K. Ngegbe, Brigadier N.A. Odate Wellington, and Colonel S.M. Kwajiram headed the ministry to prosecute the OFY project. Here, Frank Benasco began his work by developing a network of all the relevant government ministries and agencies to build a national coalition towards achieving the goal. Thus, the ministries of education, information became natural allies as the need to educate the general public and educational institutions became imperative. Information vans were acquired for a policy that required the sensitization of every city, town, and village. The media, particularly radio and television, which at the time were almost a government monopoly, were mobilized to lead the public sensitization, and the chiefs were not left out. The various regional House of Chiefs were given special briefings and asked to support the new national policy on food. The overall aim of the OFY was to mobilize all available manpower and all natural resources to produce enough food for local consumption, as well as for what? Export, in order to end the much needed foreign exchange. The launch of the initiative was in well-defined phase. It began with the collection and assembling of the needed data and preparing the grounds for what was dubbed, quote, a giant agricultural revolution, unquote. This early phase, including making available the necessary basic materials such as what? Cutlass, hose, axe, insecticides, and chemicals, which were sold to farmers at heavily subsidized price. And a sojourning or Bokina initiative for the Abana. Yakokras and you may yadiaba. Subsidized price. Monsumudi. Cocoa equafo. And a cramodum. Cocoa fusika cramedi. The cocoa money. Medi. Just a bibia nyamoshe. Munsuroshi. There be. Ghana is going to go on the path of hunger anytime soon. I won't fail here. They don't have any keke. That's what we say. Nemom, woman nyansa say yanko fesi camera, this can yenche young mom, na kenu furata, no way you need the company, deben enterprise, no way you need or the bonds, or kwaji bonds no bar, na bonds or the company, the horses, our company, or no own sia, no ye a surety, a guarantor, and femana. You are a bunch of thieves, rogues, and criminals. The minimum Ghanaians, wake up! Wake up! A come ever so when you always have a plan for food need diabena and all the food growing areas tonight. I'm here to break the news to you. It's going on drought. Folks, Benemusia, short break. I'll be back and continue the extension of Ghana Speaks, of course. Tonight, we're going to give you all about what is happening in the polls. Some regions in Akina and why party bang and will make it a giant step. Very explosive, and especially like Greater Accra Northern region. Between MPP and DC, who is carrying, who is hoisting the flag? This is the front line with Kwaku Annan. Stick and stay out.